Hi everybody, Kat here. So I'm going to be talking about some brushes today. So I picked up these brushes from the Non-Con Art Factory Fest this week, and these are the Leanna Rainbows. I have not seen them. I don't know if they're brand new. I should know if they're brand new, but I don't. But I didn't have them, so I bought them. So I've got the Leanna Rainbow number 2. I have got this number 2 filbert, or I don't know that she calls it a number 2, but to me it's about a size 2 filbert. This one here is their flower. This one is the number 4 round. We have got the 3/4 angle, and then we have got the number 3. So I'm going to be demoing these. It's just going to be a very quick demo. And then as far as the Art Factory, I have got the Perfect Petal, which I love. This is not new to me. I actually have another one, but I wanted another one for my other wallet because I just don't seem to have enough wallets. And this one I didn't even know about. So when Susie was painting my face, she was using this small rose, and it was new to her. She loved it. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try it too, because this is the perfect angle for smaller roses, smaller faces. And so, yeah, I'm excited to try that one too. And then, of course, we've got Andrea Moye's. These are her factory, Art Factory Pro brushes, right? So these are her Lush Rose brushes. We've got the 3/4 inch, and then we also have the 5/8, which is brand new. You can tell they've been used, so I'm excited about those as well. And then Marcella Bustamante. Now, this one is a number 2 filbert extra long. So you can see that right there. It's got that extra long length. I'm not used to that. So I thought today would be a good day to try it. I saw Susie using this to make her waves. She was really good at it. Because this is so long, I just don't know that I'm going to have the same amount of control that I would have with, a shorter brush. So let's get started with some of these, and then let's demo them. I'll show you just a few strokes, not going into a whole lot of detail, but let's just try them all out. So I'm just going to go ahead and start out with 3/4 Lush. This is from Andrea Moye. She is a good friend of mine, love her to pieces. She makes great products. She's a very talented artist. Most of you know her, so I don't really have to tell you how awesome she is. But in looking at this one here, you can see that this has a very fine chisel on it. So it's thicker here at the base towards the ferrule of the brush, and then it tapers down very thin. Now, because Andrea is really known for her roses, she wanted this to be what she considered a perfect brush for her beautiful roses. And so I'm just going to come over here, and hopefully this color will pick up. This is this homemade palette I made from GTX. And we're going to just pick up some paint, and we're going to come up here, and we're going to start. Now you can see, because it has that bend, is actually making, really good petals, right? So you can see that right there. And I will zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So again, even if you're coming from here to here, and you're coming, you can see how it will bend. You see that? How it will bend? That's such a nice bend. It's so good. And you know what? I've got control over this. It's not too long. It's not too short. For me, it's just the right amount of flexibility to do what I need to do. So this is going to be her 3/4 Lush Rose. And again, this is by Andrea Moye. So another brush from Andrea is her 5/8. This is brand new. This just came out. Super excited to get it. This is called her Lush Leaf. And if you've ever seen her leaves, she makes all sorts of different leaves. And she is a Donna Dewberry, how do I say this? I'm probably going to butcher this up, but she is a student of Donna Dewberry. She's certified by Donna Dewberry to teach, and she is a master at the craft. So Andrea, if I said that all wrong, please forgive me. So we've just picked up some paint here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just show you by going to the side right here, right? You can get those perfect little wiggles in here, because again, she has made this to what she considers her perfect brush based on what she does and how she uses them. But even though it's based on her style, it works for everyone's style. That's what I love about this particular one. It has a fine enough point to it that even if you were to, let's say, make a, like a peacock thing, and you wanted to do all these little things that people do, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing this perfect, but you can see what I'm saying. You can just do all of that. But as far as just, creating that, you see how that just perfectly bends? Oh, I just love that. That is just great. So it's a beautiful brush, and this is the Lush Leaf by Andrea Moye. It's a 5/8 inch. So now I'm going to move over to the Leanna Rainbows 3/4. You can see I've already used this, but the only thing that concerns me right now is I'm starting to see some separation in the brush. It just may be me, how I'm cleaning it. I'm not really sure. I don't want to say. It also has a very fine chisel on it, and it has a thicker base, and then it comes down into a point. So if I put it to the side, you might be able to see what I'm talking about right here. So we're going to pick up some of this rainbow color that I've got made over here, and we're just going to test it out. So let's come up here and let's just bring it down. And then that's what it looks like right there. I'm just showing you the flexibility of the brush. And there you go. So this is going to be the Leanne's Rainbow Angle 3/4. Okay, so now I've got the Leanna Rainbows flower. I've went ahead and preloaded it just to make it a little bit easier. And I'm going to do this on my arm because I just don't know how it's going to do on paper. So I'm just going to start here in the center and then press down, press down, press down. And so you can see that this particular brush makes larger petals. I'm going to come over here. It's got that little fine point, and I'm just going to see how it does as far as making these little sides. Coming here, right? And then maybe like a shorter one, like that. Another side one. Also trying to test to see how much paint this is holding. So far not so bad. And you can start to see here, right after all that, I'm starting to lose some paint. But this is going to be your Leanne Rainbow flower. So now I'm going to go to the number 2 round. And again, we're sticking with the Leanne Rainbow. Come over here, just pick up some black. Generally, black's just easier to see. So let's see what we have here. So we're going to start over here, and we're going to work our way this way. So coming here, it's got a nice soft bend to it. So this is a softer brush. I think if you're not used to working with a soft brush, this might take a little bit getting used to, and I'm not going to lie to you. I played with this at the art factory, and at first I was like, wow, that is just so soft. And I was like, I don't know if I can use that. But I kept playing with it until I got a little bit better of a hang of it. And then, just like anything, you keep practicing with something and you get better at it, right? So let's see that. Go thick to thin to thick to thin. You can do that as well. So this is going to be your number 2 round. I wonder how it is with dots, because sometimes when you have a very fine point, the dots are not as good. So now we've got a little or a few dots. Okay, so now we've got the number 3. We're going to try that in comparison. Just pick up some of the black I've got over here, and then we're going to be basically doing the same thing. So I'm going to put a little bit more pressure, pull, pressure, pull. Again, this is soft, and I've not gotten quite used to it to where I am the subject matter expert with a super soft brush, pulling it, going from thick to thin to thick to thin to thick to thin. And of course, let's do a couple of dots, right? And then maybe a swirl up here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some of the paint off of the edge so that that's a little better. I tend to use the number 3 a lot, so I would want to get better at this. You can see a little bit of the size differential between the number 2 and the number 3 here. Right, so now we're going to move to the number 4, and I'm going to pick up some paint. Now I will tell you, I've already used this one a couple times, and to me, this number 4 is almost like a number 6 in some of the brands, and you'll see what I mean. Just a second. You see how that is so wide in comparison? So to me, this almost feels like a number 6. And there are some people who are really good at using this, and they're good at just with the pressure, and they can make it smaller and smaller. So you can do that with this number 4. You can go from a very thick teardrop to a very thin teardrop. I'm sure it's just all about how you're holding the brush, how much pressure you're putting on it, right? So you can see that. Actually, these teardrops, I did better with this number 4 than I did with this one, which was the number 3, oddly enough. And you can see I actually went down smaller in size. And if I pick up just a little bit more paint, let's just see how we are with that. And so there you go. And dots. Small little dots. I'm not making big dots, but these are just like small little dots. All right, so now we're going to go to the Leanna Rainbows filbert. I use the filbert a lot for teardrops. I know a lot of people just use it for filling in, but I tend to use it a lot for teardrops, believe it or not. And so you can see right here, it's very flat. The nice thing about a filbert, honestly, is you're going to get a nice flat line, and then if you turn it, right? So if you turn it, I'm going so slow, but if you turn it on its side, you're going to be able to get that chisel that you want, just by simply turning your brush. So it's flat, and then you're angling it up this way, right? So coming here, turning it, and you're going to get your points. And that's the way that works, okay? Coming down, you're going to turn it this way. So if you're coming here, you're going to turn it. So whether you're left or right-handed, right? You're just going to turn the brush. And then, let's see, if we're doing, you know, like a tiger stripe, you come over here, thin, wiggle, 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 and then, you know, you can come this way. Or you can come over here, wiggle, 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 and then come over here. So sorry that wasn't very good, but like that. All right, so next we're going to be doing the perfect petal brush. I'm just again going to show you on my arm. So this one right here I already have. I love this brush. It makes beautiful petals, as you can see. They're just gorgeous, right? I mean, look at that. That is so pretty. And of course you have the fine. You can come over here. You can bring it up. And you can build it out as well if you needed to. But this one to me is literally what it says. It's a perfect petal brush. It's small enough and it's nice enough that you can use this either on a larger face or a smaller face. And this is really good in between the 4 eyes if you're doing some extra flowers. But this one is going to be your perfect petal brush. And this is, again, from the Art Factory. So I have got the small rose right here, and I'm just going to try to go ahead and create my little petal, right? And right here, you can see, I actually love this. Look at that. You can see it has just enough bend in it. So again, not sure if you can really see, but it really has just that perfect bend. You see how I can get all of that in there? Ah, I love this one. This one's great. Be great for leaves, roses, whichever one you wanted to do. But if you have a small vase, so I saved the most challenging brush for last. This is the number 2 Filbert XL from Marcella Bustamante. I am not used to working with a brush this long, so this is going to be interesting. So don't judge me if you use this and you're an expert at it. I give you 5 stars. This is the first time I've ever used it, so I'm just going to double load it because I want to see what it looks like if you double load it. So I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to pull it all the way down. And I'm going to guess, because it is that super extra long brush, that you can do this without any issues. So again, I've double loaded it. I'm just pulling it. Sorry, it's probably not as well as it should be on paper, but let's just keep on going. Okay. So I'm going to come over here on the side. So I haven't been talking about these chisels very well, have I, in this video, but I'm going to try to come here, and I've not used this, so I'm trying to create kind of like that circular motion. If I come over here and maybe go that way, am I going to get it better? This would be a nice wave. This is what Susie was actually using it for when she was showing me this particular brush. And again, if you're a master at it, that's great. I am not a master at this brush. I'm just starting to learn it and just trying to see whether or not I can master it, because it just looks like it would be a great brush to have in your kit. But just like anything else, got to practice with it, right? So I'm going to just pick up 2 other different colors, maybe something with a little bit more contrast so you can see. Right there. And let me see, if you did tiger stripes, how would that be? See, I haven't mastered that. You see, I went and I came up on the edge, which for me is not easy with this brush, but it's all about learning, coming up on a fine point, pressure down, and then see how I had to pick up that brush. So if you have this brush, I would love to know how you master it, because I'm going to have to work with it in order to be a master of this brush. But I find this brush to be super fascinating, for sure. And it's one that I'm going to be practicing with, because I think if I were to do 2 or 3 pages of brush strokes with it, I could definitely learn how to control this brush. And for me, it all has to do with the length. You see, it's really a long brush. So it's learning to master those longer brushes that sometimes will help you build your skill sets. Okay, so nothing too intense. I've got several brushes here, and again, I picked them up at the Art Factory when I was there for the non-con. And just like most of you, we are brush hoarders. That's why I am part of an amazing group of ladies. We have the brush strokes page, and there we go. I almost forgot one. But we are a part of the brush strokes page, and we talk about brushes and we talk about how they work. We're not here to criticize any of the brushes, but just our own personal experiences with them. And every artist is going to like brushes differently. This one, as I said, the only thing that I had a little bit of concern with is, again, just some of the separation I see after I clean it. That I don't see in some of my other brushes, but, you know, it may not be a big deal. I also find it kind of interesting how it the color variation here. It's almost like a little bit of a rainbow style on that pink. But yeah, these are the brushes that I got, and I just did a very quick demo on them, just showing them to you. If you have these, want to leave a comment below for me, tell me which one's your favorite. That would be great. If you're a master of the Marcella Bustamante, this beautiful filbert here, which looks like a long cat dung to me, but again, maybe not. If you are an expert with this one, I'd love to know or see some of your own videos posted on our page on how you're using this. So as always, I appreciate you watching. If you like this, if you found it helpful, please like, click, and subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, thanks for watching.